Time for more news from around the northwest now, and a 29-year-old man from Preston has been jailed for life for the murder of his former girlfriend. David Bullman from Ashton pleaded guilty to murdering Nicholas Seed in February. The mother of 4 was found dead at her home in Ribbleton with severe head injuries.
23 members of staff have lost their jobs at TJ Hughes in Salford. The shop, which was already in administration, was so badly damaged in Tuesday night's riots that administrators have decided to close it down.
2 houses being rebuilt after a huge explosion in Earlham in Salford last November have been damaged extensively by fire. It broke out at about 10 o'clock last night and is being treated as suspicious.
An official gay quarter has been approved by Liverpool Council today. It will see the Stanley Street area transformed in a bid to attract more tourists and create new jobs. It will follow the success of the second Pride Festival in the city over the weekend.
A judge in Manchester has warned that anyone owning a high-performance car is at risk of being targeted by violent criminals. Judge Timothy Mort made the comments as he jailed 3 men for terrorising a family in Cheadle Hulme in order to steal their car.
Roger Dean was knocked unconscious and left with sight problems after a gang raided his home, terrifying his wife and baby daughter. Amy Cornwell reports.
Every time there's a bang or anything happens in the house, I'm at the window, I'm on edge, so just can't seem to relax.
Roger Dean is now afraid to leave his family. Last November, a gang targeting his high-performance car, a Subaru Impreza, knocked on his door and attacked him.
I felt a blow to my face, saw a gloved hand with a bar across it coming towards me, clunked in the face. I went flying backwards and through the child gate, at the bottom of the stairs, and was unconscious.
There was a time when thieves would have been able to break into and start a car like this with a few simple tools. But as technology's developed, high-performance cars have become more secure, meaning that the key is now crucial, and criminals are increasingly confronting the owners.
I always thought I could protect my family, which obviously I can't do if there's determined criminals wanting to get into your house.
Yeah, it's the nature of cars today and the security systems fitted on them. You can't just hotwire a car now, you actually need keys to take the car. People are prepared to go to the lengths now of breaking in the house.
Michael Williams and Natil Shepherd from Gorton and Keaton Samuels from Fallowfield all pleaded guilty to robbery, sentencing them to a total of 14 years in prison. His Honour Judge Timothy Mort remarked that anyone who has a car of that value in Greater Manchester or other cities is at risk of being targeted in this way.
It's just the memories that this house has got now of the 3 men coming through the door uninvited. So we're selling the house basically and trying to move on somewhere else.
Naomi Cornwell, BBC North West Tonight at Manchester Crown Court.
Now, still to come in North West Tonight. It's back. On the eve of Premier League season, we look at the prospects for our 7 sides.
And heads, you win, the aspiring footballer who went to the top to get a trial.
I didn't know what I was going to do because I got to the door and I saw this big house, and it was difficult to press the buzzer, but I did it.
Now, it is the weekend millions of football fans have been waiting impatiently for. There may be others who are not, but the football fans are, and waiting for it since May.
Yeah, and to preview the new Premier League campaign, Richard Askins here with the Sports Desk tonight, and a very special guest.
Yes, hi Randy, hi Gordon. Yes, Kevin Gallagher, of course, former Blackburn Rovers and Scotland striker. Thanks for joining us, Kev.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's got the makings of a cracking season, hasn't it? How much are you looking forward to it?
I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, the amount of money that's been spent on new players, new talent coming into the Premiership, again, I think this is going to be really exciting.
Let's start at the top. Champions Manchester United, they've strengthened in the summer, the likes of Phil Jones and so on. Do you still think that they will be the team to beat?
I think so. You know, I mean, they're not crowned champions for nothing, you know, and they had a hard season last year. I think it'll be a tough season, but I can see them, the way they turned out with the Charity Shield, I can see them going on and doing it again.
What about City, Kevin? How close do you think they will run Manchester United and the others for the title?
I think they're getting closer. You know, I think it'll all depend on how they work together. You know, it's getting new players in, it's okay spending millions of pounds, but if they work together and they get that system right, I think there'll be another couple of teams dropping down the table to let Manchester City into number 2.
Let's talk about Liverpool now. Liverpool have made their 5th signing of the summer, Jose Enrique from Newcastle, and the boss Kenny Dalglish knows that expectations are really on the rise.
We're happy with the business we've done. we look forward to the start of the season, same as everybody. Every club's exactly the same as ourselves. They've got high expectation before the ball's kicked. We just hope we can fulfil the expectation.
I'm sure he'll manage those expectations, Kevin. What do you think about Liverpool's prospects?
I'm thinking even higher now as well. You know, they finished 6th after a bad season last year, but I think Kenny will be aiming for a top 4 place now. The players he's getting in is getting the players in that he likes the system, the 4-4-2 system, 2 wide players into the box. But they'll play football with it as well, and I think they're getting stronger. And I think they will finish in the top 4 this year.
Confident stuff, Kev, about Liverpool. Well, Everton's game against Spurs, unfortunately, is off because of the riots in Tottenham. But David Moyes, how long do you think he can keep Everton moving forward when we know, Kevin, he hasn't got a great deal to spend?
I think that's David Moyes' motto, though. You know, I think that he's a better manager for not having money to spend. You know, he's just showing the qualities that he has to get out of other players and the players that he has in the squad. I think when you've got that bit of money to spend, it adds a little bit more pressure, and I think Moyes has handled his job really, really well.
Now, Bolton have lost a couple of key players, haven't they, that formed part of the squad last season. Johan Elmander, they've also had a couple of players who have had broken legs, unfortunately, in the summer. And manager Owen Coyle, he admits that not all things have gone to plan.
Sometimes the manager you have to adjust and then readjust. That's what we've had to do. But we're excited about the new season, we're looking forward to it, and we want to do everything in our power we can to improve upon last season.
What about Bolton then, Kevin? How do you see their season going?
I think it'll be the same again for Bolton. Depends on the start of the season that they get. You know, they've lost 1 or 2 players, they've got 1 or 2 in again, but Owen's trying to get a nice little football side in there like he had going at Burnley. And if you can get that going again, I think they'll finish probably on about the 15th area this season.
Now, Blackburn Rovers and Wigan Athletic fans won't thank me for pointing it out, but they were flirting with relegation last season. Do you think the same again, or could they move higher up the table?
I think more or less something similar. You know, I think the 3 teams that are coming up, I think that's their basic standard. That's what they'll have below them, I think, at the end of the season. They've both not spent a lot of money. They've sold top players, and Zogby's on from Wigan, Jones went from Blackburn. They've took money in, but they haven't really spent that much money, and Blackburn now are developing a younger squad, probably for the next 2 or 3 seasons. But next season it will be a tough battle, but I don't think they'll be flirting with relegation. I think they'll just be above it this year.
All right, Kev, can't wait. Thanks very much indeed. I'll see you at Ewood Park tomorrow. We're both there. Let's talk about a different football story now. As the big spending Premier League begins, hundreds of young footballers released by clubs at the end of last season are fighting for a future in the game. One of those is 18-year-old Max Lonsdale, who went to extraordinary lengths to keep his dream alive. Stuart Pollitt's been to meet him.
Since he was given this kit at the age of 2, Max Lonsdale has been desperate to play for Manchester United. But after being released by League 2 side Macclesfield, that seemed a long way off.
There's sort of not many opportunities after being released from Macclesfield Town this year, as you may know. So I decided to make a DVD. We dropped off at reception at sort of all the North West teams, sort of from every league.
This is Max Lonsdale. Until recently, he played for Macclesfield Town youth team.
He also put the DVD on YouTube, attracting 150,000 hits.
But Max didn't stop there. So determined was he for a career in the game that he took a copy of his DVD and knocked on the door of the Manchester United manager.
I didn't know what I was going to do because I got to the door and I saw this big house, and it was difficult to press the buzzer, but I did it, and he let me in, and he was brilliant with me. He gave me 10 minutes of his time to explain my situation, and obviously he said he watched the DVD, and there's no doubt in my mind that I knew that he would do that.
Sir Alex was true to his word, liked what he saw, and invited Max for a trial.
Man United have been brilliant with me since I started. Initially it was meant to be 2 weeks, but I've been I was there for just under 4 weeks.
In the end, he didn't quite make the grade at Old Trafford, but the club has recommended Max to other sides.
I'm quite a shy person, but sometimes you need to put yourself out there and do things that you're not necessarily comfortable with, and to get what you want.
And Max has already shown prospective employers that he'll do whatever it takes to show off his skills in the professional game. Stuart Pollitt, BBC North West Tonight, Alderley Edge.
Imagine how he felt knocking on Fergie's door. Well, Max's former club, Macclesfield, have been well rewarded for their Carling Cup win away to Hull in midweek. They'll visit Bolton in round 2. The draw made last night saw Tuesday's other giant killers, Morecambe and Bury, given a trip to Millwall, and a home date with Sven-Göran Eriksson's Leicester, respectively. Other notable ties you will see are Liverpool at League One Exeter and Rochdale away to QPR. And you can see more on the big build-up to the opening weekend of the Premier League on Football Focus. BBC One tomorrow, 12:15. Manchester City's ambassador Patrick Vieira is a special guest on the programme.
And Kevin, putting you on the spot, the top 4 in order, finishing.
Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea, Liverpool.
And no Arsenal, it's interesting. Excellent. Well, thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
That's on tape. We'll see. We'll play it back to you.
We'll delete it, don't worry if you get it wrong. Let's take a look at the weekend weather. Here's Diane.
Well, the chances of him being more accurate than me are fairly strong, so we'll see how it goes as we head through the weekend. Things are going to change. It's not a wonderful weekend, but there is some good news in there, because over the next couple of days we get drier, we get cooler, and we get fresher. But I think drier is the thing we're all concentrating on. Through the day today, it's not been too bad. It's been predominantly cloudy, but for many places dry up until the last couple of hours. But over the next couple of hours, this is what you're looking at. If you're heading out tonight, already 1 or 2 lines of showers moved across the region through the afternoon, but there is more rain waiting in the wings. Now you can see there's a bit of a gap here, but if I move out of the way, there is more to come. So if you don't have it with you now, it'll be with you as we go through the night tonight. This is our picture in Manchester city centre. That's the skyline. It's very grey and overcast, and that rain will arrive sooner or later. Light and patchy for the most part at first. As the night progresses, as it comes and it goes, over the high ground it could get fairly heavy from time to time, but for most of us, dull, damp and drizzly with very mild temperatures, 14 to 16 degrees. Here we go into Saturday, and it's not the best picture when you first get out of bed. It's still fairly grey, a spot of drizzle here and there, but there is room for improvement as you head through the day. This cloud cover, you can see the map is trying to lighten up and brighten up. That means every now and then the cloud cover will be thin enough for a glimpse of brightness, if not direct sunshine. But there's definitely improvement going on from morning through to afternoon. The wind back round to a southwesterly, so it is still relatively mild, 19 or 20 as your high. And then for Saturday night, we've got another line of light drizzly rain which will work its way through as the night goes on, particularly as you head toward the very early hours of the morning. But that should be gone by the time you get up on Sunday morning. And then Sunday, not bad. Won't be brilliant. I think there'll be 1 or 2 glimpses of sunshine from time to time. But the good news is it is dry. Temperatures around 19 degrees. And yes, Monday doesn't look too bad at all. And I know there are 1 or 2 showers on Tuesday, but the picture is for it to settle down. Back to you.
Super, thank you very much, Diane.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Kevin, how confident were you at 18, just going back to Max there at 18, being so brave?
I think I was lucky because I was actually playing professional at 18. I was in the first team, so it was one of those. It was a bit of luck for me because I started at a young age playing in the first team at Dundee
And if you hadn't
United.
been picked up then, would you have had the guts to believe in yourself?
He's got great
I don't know.
belief, this man.
I've got a good self-belief in myself and my ability and that, but I don't know if I'd have been as brave as him.
No, going up to that big old house.
And how do you feel sitting in the spot still warm from the Prime Minister's rear end?
Well, I can tell he's been sitting here because it is still warm.
Good stuff. Thank you very much. Have a really good weekend. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Vic and Bob on the One Show. They won't let it lie.